at 1:30. Meanwhile, y'all are awake at 5:30 in a week and go to bed. What are you fucking?
I had pizza
meat
meal on Friday.
Come on.
Wow,
yeah, nah.
daily.
I like having no
Huh?
notice.
Yeah, nah. What time is it for
I
you?
know,
Fun for a
right?
while.
5:28.
Welcome to even worse.
It's fun for like a
4
few
hours
weeks.
apart right now.
No.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
antsy.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Tupper.
West.
Best code.
As the leader of a small sub community within your own community,
West Coast is
can I
West
ask
Coast.
your advice, whatever you can think of on hand? What's the best thing I can do to help, like, stop, like, people from using, like, shady stuff, like clients and shit? Because it's something I like to discourage.
That's a hard thing to answer, especially considering the context of like VRChat. I understand why people would use like clients in some situations, especially like I saw a client recently that lets you adjust like people's volumes individually, which we want to do for a long time, but just haven't gotten to yet. I don't know. The best
volumes needs to be done on the sender side, not the receiver side. The receiver side is just a problem.
Okay. So details aside,
It perpetuates it.
the details don't matter, Ewan. It doesn't matter.
It just furthers the problem.
Doesn't matter.
It's a dystopia where you're now required to know this is been like a long distance thing.
Okay.
This is a very like you have to be careful about it because we have spatialized audio as opposed to Discord having like non-spatialized audio.
Question, the main issue is that when people are running like stuff that we haven't vetted and we haven't written, we have no idea what's happening, and we have seen like when I wrote in that blog post recently that people are running like custom clients and all of a sudden magically they lose access to their accounts because someone stole it. That's not a joke. Like we have no idea what people.
That's what I tell people all the time, and they don't.
And I guess
See, like
I mean,
they don't care because like a lot of clients do what they say is only wholesome stuff, but like they're ignoring that it could be like a total scam from the start.
I mean, technically speaking, they could use some kind of exploit to, for example, encrypt the entire contents of, their user accessible hard drive, which, that's an idea.
Basically, if somebody downloads a modified client, they are trusting the creator of that client
not to backdoor them.
Who's already a shady bastard.
Who's already reversed and clearly already, a bit of a gray hat at least, doing client reverse engineering. They're trusting them with hopefully not administrator access, but I wouldn't put it past some client developer to be like, I need to run as admin because it interfaces with something else, and now you've pwned your box. You don't own your computer's not yours anymore. So you're basically trusting them to run unsecured code on your machine.
Yeah.
They read any file that's not like
your
protected.
question, that is a hard thing to do, especially given the current state of things. People should be wanting to protect their accounts, and you don't want to get your friends don't want to get banned, right? For having a modified client or whatever. I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that mostly because if that was happening within whatever communities I'm a part of, imagine Mimi running a modified client. So or TCL. Oh wait, you're allowed. Never mind.
I'm allowed. Or Ewan. That would be just madness.
Ewan's always running a modified client. What an asshole.
Yeah, I've seen that. Always glitching through walls.
Well,
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I heard there's like a rumor that like you guys approve of some of the clients or something. Do you have anything to say about that?
No.
Yeah, I always tell people that there's no way. It's such a widespread rumor.
VRChat clients are on Steam, Oculus, and Viveport.
There's the download from the website.
I guess.
No, we don't have a direct download anymore. That was like way back in it's way back before Steam launch.
I feel old.
Before Steam launch, there was a client that was downloadable from the VRChat website because it wasn't on Steam, and then it was released on Steam in beginning of February 2017, and then it was taken down from the website and it was on Steam. And then you could only use it. You got it from Steam, and then at some point it got on the Oculus store. and then now it was on both Steam and Oculus, and eventually it was added to Viveport. And those are the only places you can get it. Steam, Oculus, and Viveport.
I have a feeling Viveport came.
See, that rumor is one I hear like
I
all
might have,
over the
yes.
place from all sorts of
But yeah,
different
those are
types
the
of groups I hang out with.
If you ever have questions about these types of rumors, I will gladly answer the questions, and if you want to fucking record me answering the questions,
That's what I'm
I
doing
have
right
no
now.
problem with that.
I've been meaning to ask you for months now, just so I could tell, because I keep telling people. I see Tupper every once in a while. I can just ask him, and he will say no.
Yeah, no.
So
feel
thanks
free.
for this.
It's okay. Whenever I'm in VRChat, I operate with the assumption that everyone is recording me at all times. So yeah, no. If you want to do that, I have no problem.
Like I said, when you run a community, you really just need to set lines, and people who cross it are out. Anyone who leaves because of it is probably didn't care enough about the community.
Well, there's people who use clients because they're
Be
like,
careful in
it
the
extends
issues
your
that you,
friends
like, pick
list,
as
or
that
sorry,
issue.
favorites list, and they're like, oh, this is totally like not a bad thing, and then they like, they
No,
treat
you're
it.
right. Like bigger
Yeah,
favorites
like
lists
they-
is, I mean,
Like they find excuses to ignore how dangerous it could be.
Like security system came from that one too, because there was a commodity client that had their its own where it could read the API ranks before anyone else could.
I mean, it's either way. It's like, yeah. I mean, I'm not denying the fact that like some of the features that I've seen in like videos and things like that have been like, yeah, that'd be really cool to have. But again, that wasn't
Like,
run by us. We have
I
no
think
idea what's running.
the real solution to clients is just to implement like their good features to the game, but I know that take a lot of time for you guys, so it's like.
Well,
Like,
the funny thing is a lot of the things that people have implemented in these things are things we've had planned for what feels like eons. We just
Yeah.
haven't gotten to it yet.
I know how it is.
planned, or they're extremely short term, like short, like term solutions to bigger issues.
No, I had like.
Yeah.
Like I have seen various implementations of
but
fixes
mostly I'm just
in
sleeping.
which
Like the
would
particles and
last
mirror
around
thing?
5 minutes or less.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, there's the very like very
Some pretty
very,
obscure
like,
things.
laser focused. I wanted a feature, so I just like hacked it in without any regard for like maintenance or code, quality or anything, or any sort of semblance of like
or mass
thought onto
deployment
to like.
problems. Yeah.
Can this be used for everyone? Like the example of this isn't something that we could ever ship as the way
Yep.
that it's implemented in the hacked clients is the dynamic bone like interactivity thing. Where you can
Oh
like
yeah.
interact with other people's
Jesus
dynamic
Christ.
bone. Because the implementation in the hacked
brains?
client is literally to just I take all of the colliders in the entire scene and just add them all to the dynamic bones like colliders lists. Which I could write that in it's literally just a few lines of code. I would create the dynamic bone script, get all colliders, add to list, done. And then you don't have any frames because dynamic bone doesn't have any sort of acceleration structure to like early reject and limit the amount of colliders it has to test against. It's not using PhysX or anything. It's just, it literally just goes down the list. It just goes down the list and just says, hey, are we intersect with this one or this one or this one or this one? Also, the solution that Dynamic Bone comes up with depends explicitly on the order that you evaluate those colliders. That means that you get different behavior depending on the order users join the room and that you detect those colliders and add them to that list for each script.
Oh my god.
Like, that's not really... it's not
Yo,
really, like,
people want their ability ERP real bad. You guys don't get it. You guys need to be. I'm joking.
No, we absolutely do get it. We understand why people would want to do those things. But on the other hand, I mean, the shorthand version of what TCL is saying is that, yes, people have implemented these kinds of things in modified clients. Those are problems for different reasons. But also, they're really bad at it most of the time. Like, they're not good. Like, these are script kiddies that are, like, downloading ILSpy or whatever and taking shit apart and putting it back together and thinking they did a good job. They did not. It's bad. It has like lasting implications that they don't really realize because they're advanced users and they don't realize that, a new user, if they ran into that feature, they'd be like, what the fuck does this do? I don't understand. Why do I need
I
this?"
think
Or
people
something
get that,
worse.
like, you guys can't make the real full implementation in the actual game so easily, and like, their hack is like kind of a shortcut, and like, they're just content with it because they kind of hang out in like friends, like their own private worlds and stuff all the time when they're doing that.
They are taking the wellness of their VRChat account
Oh, yeah,
into
there's
their
that
own
too.
hands at that point.
Yeah, they're
Well,
kind of
actually, not in
using.
their own hands. They're handing it off to some rando.
Now, would you tell people using clients use it at their own risk or stop using it because it's dangerous?
No, just don't.
Like, just don't
I
use it,
appreciate
don't
that.
give
I
it to them.
appreciate that.
Like,
Just
God,
don't use
you're-
it.
Again, you have this device that is in your house that, you know, a lot of people in VRChat have a lot of, I mean, if they're like me, they have no lives and basically everything that they've ever done and everything that's important to them is sitting on their computer. Why would you ever let
Same.
some rando have complete unfettered access to your life? Like, that's,
Like,
I mean,
do
you can
you
trust
want to
VRChat
get like?
because we run the risk of stopping existing and all the, you know, all of the money we
Yeah.
put into it and all the hard work and our visions go away because we did something stupid for some shitpost. Meanwhile, you download a modded client, this person has put nothing towards it. You have no trust built towards this person. You don't know who they are. They could do anything with your data. God knows, you know, it could be some dude in Ukraine trying to steal your credit card number. Easily done with a modified
You
client.
want to get like crypto lockered? This is how you get crypto lockered.
That's even, yeah.
Don't forget that you have
Yeah,
to
people
pay
wanna
for
get
it.
people
your
give it
account
trust
stolen,
because they're
you know,
selling
you
for
wanna be a
money
part
and
of
like all their
a
friends
bubble.
do
Or it
it
could
and
be,
haven't
you
done
know,
anything,
Bunch
but they
of
don't
VR
think
should
about
have respect
maybe
me
someday
6
they do an
Bitcoins
exit
for
scam or
this
something and
address.
just screw everyone. Or
Well,
everyone
that's
just
the
gets
other
banned
thing is
for
they
it.
could be that if I
Nice
was
rack.
if I was a bad person and if I wanted to do that, that is absolutely what I would do. I would pose as
'Cause-
someone who was making the good clients, and I would be
Exactly.
wholesome, and you know, everything would be fine.
Except
and I
they
would just
sell it, they
silently
want
collect
money.
data until I have megabytes and megabytes worth of usernames and passwords. That because people's bad password. Just also their password to like their bank account or something, you know, something ridiculous, or worse, they, you know, install all of these kind of rootkits or silent software that sit there until they push a button, you know, a year or two from now, and now you've got 1,000 people or more that have crypto locker on their machine, and now they're fucked out of all their data.
And they have no idea where it came from.
Yeah. You have no idea what happened there. That's the problem. I mean, honestly, yeah, you can say that, oh, it's just against the rules. It's just a rule. They just made it up. No, the reason why it's there is because we don't want to be held responsible for people writing software that has our logo on it and it has some shitty software in it that's going to do bad things to you. That's why that clause is there. I mean, if you want to talk about it from a business perspective, that's why that is there. It is a liability thing because we don't want people running code that has our name on it that isn't our code.
Yeah, one of the
Because
things.
I mean, as an extension, we don't want you to have problems because of it, and then blame us because hey, it wasn't our problem. You wanted to have global dynamic bones.
One of the things I always tell people is that the rumors that go around are real convenient because it makes people think it's like not a big deal. Like the rumor that you guys like secretly approve it or something, like it makes people have like comfort
No.
with it and like ignore
No,
all
absolutely
the
not.
problems. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's the client users who spread that kind of rumor because
Of course
it
they do.
drives their
It's
sales.
2020. Misinformation is king. Like it is the year of our Lord 2020. Misinformation and inciting panic based on misinformation is the current meta of real life.
Yep.
Cool.
Speaking of misinformation, did everybody buy all the toilet paper they need?
Oh my. And the water?
Dude. The Costco
It's the
I
same
work
here
at,
in Germany.
they fucking pulled
Toilet paper is
all the
fucking
toilet
gone.
paper out, and then like they purposely like
Of all the
are-
things to sell out,
they're
it's
rationing
toilet
it.
paper.
That makes
I have a
sense.
magnolia tree
I don't-
outside
That
the
store
leaves are very
sign,
big.
8 toilet paper rolls
Yeah.
for a large pizza.
Not just use the shower easy.
You don't have running water.
Disgusting.
No, but here's the problem about
Yeah,
this
but
is
we
that
do
this
have
particular
that.
like outbreak, the amount of like people required to run the water and power, like this isn't a you know civilization ending sort of thing. It's a like supply chain interruption. You're not gonna lose power because of
It's misinformation and incited panic. I mean,
Exactly. Like-
you saw Elon's tweet, right, where it's like the
people panicking about it are stupid.
Like this is the panic is stupid. I mean, yeah, it's a hot
Just the
take, and it's
flu.
like a one sentence hot take, but he's right. It is stupid. It's inciting, you know,
Like,
meaningless
you should
panic.
be hygienic.
That causes business.
But you should
Yeah.
always
Wash,
be hygienic.
yeah.
Just speed a
Wash
game
your
and always wash your
hands.
hands. Easy.
And
Wash your
properly.
hands. Don't touch your
Not sure if
face.
that works. Exactly.
And also make sure you have like a little, you know, you have enough food in your house for like, you know, a few days or a week, not like 6 months.
Okay, but unironically, I saw a video of this. I think it was like a TikTok video a girl put up or something, where it was like me attempting to not touch my face, and it was like her like going like this for like.
We have beards. I totally understand. Like, I have a beard. I
Yeah,
totally understand the not touching your face thing.
My default state is like messing with my beard while I'm reading or watching something, and it's like, fuck, I can't do
but
that.
here's the thing.
I cannot touch my face. I want
in
to
your
do it now.
house. Like, here's the thing. It's
Oh,
that
good,
when
then I'm
you're
always
out
fine.
Wanting to scratch your forehead while you're in
if you're
VR with a
your
headset on.
house, If you're so what you do is when you're out in public, you wash your hands periodically when you're out in